إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا بعثه الله رحمة للعالمين ونصلي عليه في الأولين وفي الآخرين وفي الملأ الأعلى يا رب العالمين. أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل كما جاء في محكم التنزيل يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Dear brothers and sisters, we always begin with an abundant praise and gratitude. We are blessed in countless ways. Our life is filled with the mercy and compassion of our beloved Creator. And the reality of life is either you choose a path of gratitude or you are deviated to a path of ingratitude. And in this reality of life that we're struggling with, our conscious responsibility of our decisions, we will either make a conscious decision for that which is productive and good and positive in light of the productive, positive, good Creator that created us, or we will choose to be destructive, corruptive, and negative, which would be in the example of the devil, Satan. So we ask Allah to protect us from the evil and the darkness of the devil, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be with us and to facilitate our being with Him. There is a universal divine presence that encompasses and surrounds all of us. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. And He is with you everywhere you go. And Allah is seeing everything that you do. The angels called out, رَبَّنَا وَسِعْتَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رَحْمَةً وَعِلْمًا. Our Lord, You have encompassed and surrounded everything in knowledge and mercy. Right? So what these two verses are telling us is we have to come to know our Creator and we have to know His reality and be part of it, which is mercy and compassion. He is surrounding us with His knowledge and His mercy and compassion. So we must come to know Him and how we must lead a life of mercy and compassion. So there are various qualities and traits that will bring divine protection to our lives. If we have true faith, which means a genuine, real attachment to Scripture and the knowledge of the prophethood, and then we have patience, because we realize that this world that we're in is finite and flawed. It is not perfection. We do not live in heaven. There are many problems that we will deal with. There are many imperfections that we will have in ourselves and deal with in those around us. And as long as we know where perfection is, then that perfection will protect us from the imperfections. And we have to be selfless. We have to be looking to serve others, because arrogance is in thinking everyone should serve you and that you are better than others and that you have some sort of superiority intrinsically in yourself, when in fact every one of us is a part of the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, and we should be extending that mercy to those around us. The Holy Quran told us the methodology. How do we live with God? How do we live in the presence of God? يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ ذِكْرًا كَثِيرًا. O you who believe, remember Allah abundantly and often. Now here's where someone will say, I know that. Imam, come on, you've heard this before, we know that. Let's bring the test. Everybody ready for the test? We came here for the test. I see a lot of Peace Academy students. It's a test. We woke up this morning. You say, what should a Muslim say when they wake up? Everybody's going to say, Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'da ma amatana wa ilayhi nushur. How many of us actually said that this morning when we woke up, the morning before that, and so forth? Now we see where we're at spiritually. Everybody here, so many people say, Alhamdulillah, I'm a spiritual, I'm a devout Muslim. There is work to be done. Never let your guard down. How about before eating? Many of us, if we didn't train our family right, then our kids will say, Baba, you forgot to say Bismillah. Right? Because we do. And that's where when we have an environment of true, so there are people that take religion as information about theology. But then the real believer, the real submitter, the Muslim, is one who takes religion as a lifestyle, as something that affects who I am, and I'm constantly working at it. وَنِعْمَ أَجْرُ الْعَامِلِينَ. How great is the reward for those who work for it. Whenever it says وَذَكِّرْ and remind people, it's for anyone. Some people think وَذَكِّرْ because I'm a religious Muslim and I don't have to worry about that. That's a trick from shaitan. We all have lots of imperfections and we all have some influence from the shaitan around us. So then the next part of the ayah, it tells us, re-emphasizing on وَسَبِّحُوهُ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا, and glorify and exalt your Lord day and night. Dhikr, remembrance, real remembrance. Not remembrance, this is the thing you're supposed to say, and that's true remembrance, where you really feel the presence of Allah with you. You feel He's there in a way that solves all your problems. And your problems will be solved if that's the case. That's why He says, هُوَ الَّذِي يُصَلِّي عَلَيْكُمْ وَمَلَائِكَتُهُ لِيُخْرِجَكُمْ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ وَكَانَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَحِيمًا. He is the one who sends blessings upon you. And His angels are sending blessings upon you. For the purpose of, what is Salatullahi wa malaikatihi alayna? لِيُخْرِجَكُمْ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. To remove you from the darkness and put you into the light. What does this mean? This means if you are remembering, if you're truly, because we all need to work on our remembrance. If you're truly remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, waking up, eating, putting on clothing, getting into the car, leaving the house, coming back in the house, wherever you may be, you're in remembrance. And remembrance is not just phrases of remembrance, which are deep if they really come from the heart, but it's also the remembrance of purpose, the knowledge of the religion. Then you will be preserved from evil. He blesses us by giving us knowledge of purpose and lifestyle. That's why He revealed the revelation. So then we can truly appreciate the value of things. He will give blessings to us, even worldly blessings. I'm going to say, why is He giving all those people blessings? There are millionaires who are miserable. They use drugs. They're millionaires. You would think with all that money they could have as much fun as they want and do whatever they want. They're miserable, many of them. Many of them committed suicide. Seymour Hoffman, very amazing actor, did some amazing portrayals of interesting characters. Killed himself on heroin. You think he was happy? He was not happy. He had millions. This guy was making 15, 20 million a movie. And you think that made him happy? It did not make him happy. He did not know his Lord. He did not have a relationship with his Lord. And he did not remember his Lord in a way that is going to give him peace. This brings us to Dan Price. How many of you know who Dan Price is? That's the best CEO in America. Dan Price, he is someone who started a financial IT system for credit cards recently. Very smart guy. It became a multi-million-dollar industry, business. He has dozens of employees, and in Seattle, Washington, has a huge place where he works at. A few months ago, it's been in all of the news. We need to keep up with what's going on. It's amazing to see that these things happen. Dan Price, he's a humanist. He's not really into organized religion, but he believes in human beings and to make their life good, which is a good thing. Allah Yahdi. He said, I make $2 million as the CEO of my corporation. And I've been to this seminar talking about the value of life, and they said that if a family is not making $70,000, they're going to face various difficulties, and their life will be hard. So you know what Dan Price did? This, like in the last couple of months, this happened. He said, everybody in my corporation will make $70,000. Janitor makes $70,000. So he and his family can feel comfortable. They can get a house, they can live comfortable, they don't need a bunch of loans, they're not going to have difficulties, they can lead. And then he said, those who were making 70, they work very hard, they do lots of great things, they have skill sets others might not have. We're going to raise that one. Till his came down from 2-some million, 20 times less he's willing to accept. 100-some thousand he makes himself. And he said, you know what? That's good for me. I'm happy. Because as long as I'm doing something to make others happy and we're doing a good job and service for people, that's what it's all about. He may not have the knowledge of revelation, but he's tapped into the purpose of Ar-Rahman. He sees that it's not about him. He's been given something, he owes others. He has to be a means. The question is, how many Muslims think like this guy? But this is a very Islamic way of thinking. CVS. If you didn't know, as a Muslim, we should go to CVS and not Walgreens. Somebody would say, what the heck is this Imam bringing this junk in our khutbah before? It is a moral decision. CVS was making multi-billion dollars. Rite Aid and all the rest of them, they're done. It's just CVS and Walgreens, duking it out. From a capitalist, money, greedy, power sense, we're going to keep doing it. But they got together with their board. They said, look at our motto. We're about health and taking care of families. And it's immoral for us to sell tobacco products. $2 billion a year, we don't need it. Why? Because of who we stand for, what we are. And they stopped selling tobacco products at CVS. It's happened 3 years ago. Therefore, we should support that. Our recent brother with Chobani, Turkish Muslim brother, alhamdulillah, I have one Muslim example so you don't think he's glorifying the what I'm saying is, we have a lot of work to do as Muslims to really be Muslim and in many ways, in shapes and forms. The Turkish brother owns Chobani. He said, you know what? I'm going to give half of all my wealth to the refugees. Billions. Owner of Chobani Greek yogurt, which is very good for your health. You should probably get that. But if you're going to get any Greek yogurt, which one do you get? Chobani. That's our brother, and he sent billions to the refugees. We're trying to get a few thousand. We had a hard time the other night. Alhamdulillah, Allah bless us, whatever his plan was, we did whatever we could. That's someone who understands the value of what we've been given, and they use it in a way that brings true peace and happiness. Which is, it's not about me and how much I can get, and the corrupt capitalist system we live in. So he blesses us to give us knowledge. The Quran gives so many teachings that if we really embraced it, because that's the best remembrance, is the Holy Quran. You want to remember Allah Azza wa Jal? Read it. Study it. It teaches you about who is God, what is purpose and life, and divine message and will and law. And it reminds us, every decision you're making, it has a weight on your soul's value. And you will die and you will see your value that you chose. Without the constant remembrance of this light of divine presence in our lives. So let's give another test, right? Should a Muslim read the Quran? Yes. When's the last time you read the Quran? Some people are like, children, we need to take you to the mosque, and you all must learn how to read the Quran, memorize the Quran, and all that. This person not even reading Quran. Telling the kids, read Quran, read Quran. Parents, the kids are looking at the parents. When did my parents that are telling me to go to this Quran class last read or memorize Quran? How much do they know? Is it superficial? Or is it real? See, that's the difference. Doing things for the sake of doing them, or this is what we should do, and then doing things because of genuine, deep faith that is true and living upon knowledge and understanding and connection with the knowledge of the divine mercy that surrounds us. Those are two different things. We have a lot of people coming from the first route, from the religious crowd. And it's very important that we fix that. Because it is the solution to all of our problems. وَالَّذِي يُصَلِّي عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ لِيُخْرِجَكُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. We need that. How? That's what we're talking about. Here's the test. When was the last time you read Quran? Just sat down with Quran. Like in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, his companions had jobs, businesses, families. They're not just a bunch of scholars sitting in a masjid with dhikr beads and reading Quran all day. Actually, Umar hit a guy. He saw him in the mosque. And he's not beating him like leaving bruises or something. He's just getting him in line. He's like, what are you doing in here? I make dhikr all day. Go get a job and do something. And who's your family supporting this nonsense? Where are they at? Let's get them straight. You have to live a real life with meaning. But at the same time, your life with meaning, dealing with the reality of life, you're going to see darkness. You will need to remember it where it counts. Anybody can sit in the mosque and remember Allah and sit in the mosque all day and all night. You're not facing reality. You're not helping anything or anyone. Yourself primarily. Well, let's fix that. Yes, you might spiritually help yourself a little bit. But we are people who are carrying the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. What is mercy? It's not an individual thing for yourself. It's for everyone else. That's the nature of mercy. It goes to others. Right? That is what we're here to do. The light. The difference between light and day. And the light, why is there light? Why is there light? So we can recognize the beauty of the beautiful creator who created everything and the beautiful artistic perfection that made everything that is this beauty. That's why there's light. And when you know that light and you see it, then in the darkness, you know your way around because you know the light. But if you stay in the darkness a lot, you're going to trip over stuff and run into things. It will be a problem. You won't know. You won't know how to fix that. This is the metaphor of guidance. If you have guidance and you're embracing the light, you're embracing the Quran, you're embracing the knowledge that it came with, then when darkness comes to you, you will be able to put light on it and solve that problem and see it as it is and avoid the harm that comes from it. This is the metaphor of Surah Al-Falaq. I had one brother who came up to me. He says, Imam, I had all these problems in our family, we're having these problems. And my son, the Sheikh, told me, read Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas and it will solve all your problems. We've been reading these two surahs forever and we got more problems than we started with. So this is fact. The theory is, it's like a talisman. And then shaitan just runs away. That's the theory. Many, I will say, let's be clear. That is the majority understanding of many scholars. Okay? But let me tell you what it really is about. The Quran is a work of divine masterpiece of literary excellence. That was the miracle. It has an introduction, Surah Al-Fatiha. It has a content of meaning and message and beauty. And then it has a conclusion, which are these two surahs. And the conclusion is telling you, after you read the book, here's what you need to know about this book. Now it's going to get deep. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Say, I seek refuge, protection, safety with the Lord of daybreak, the break of light. I mean, falaq is like falaq al-hab. It's like, then it comes out, right? That's falaq. That's the nature of the word. Meaning when darkness comes, min sharri ma khalaq. When the evil comes from the people of what he created, غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبْ. What does that mean? It was light, but then here comes the darkness just completely overtaking it. That's what that means. مِنْ شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. There are people who perform dark arts. The jinns, they work with evil to cause harm and problems to people. Not to do a magic show. That's a whole completely different thing. مِنْ شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. And from the evil of, we'll look at the most, because the conclusion is like the most important thing to remember. From the evil of envious people when they use envy. And yes, there's something called the evil eye, but probably the vast majority of the evil of envious people is what they say and do behind your back to cause problems for you. And how they interact with you. It's because of envy. So what is this talking about? It's saying, what is the meaning of this surah? It's saying, look, Allah, He is the source of the light. The physical light and the spiritual light. With the physical light, you know your way around and you can appreciate beauty. Spiritual light, you know your way around and you can appreciate beauty. In the metaphorical spiritual way of understanding situations and dealing with people. And so this surah is telling you, when people do bad things, when circumstances become bad, when darkness comes around you, when people do black magic, when people are envious, you need to go back and read that whole Quran, which is the knowledge of Allah and His light. لِيُخْرِجَكُمْ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. That's why the prophets came, that's why the revelation was revealed. So if you're not reading the Quran and living by it and understanding it, in my humble opinion, Surah Falaq and Nas ain't going to help you at all, reciting them blindly. Because that's not what their purpose is. I don't believe they're a holy talisman. I believe they're the conclusion to the most amazing, perfect, beautiful book that tells you, if you live in the light of Allah Azza wa Jal, and you illuminate your heart and your mind with the understanding of Him and His revelation and His will for you, you will be protected from darkness in this world and in eternity after. That's what it's saying. It's not a one ticket. It's not a somebody died for my sins, here read the surah, here memorize the thing, you go to heaven for free. No, it's jihad. We are in a struggle against darkness and evil. It requires a daily reminder. And if we build families and friends that we know will help us whenever, genuinely, they're not trying to correct us because they know the right thing and you're doing wrong, as you see many religious people doing. No, they genuinely love you and are concerned for you. And they're trying to help you out of the darkness with the light of revelation and guidance, and they're doing it in a nice way that you feel very comforted by it. Then our ummah is in great shape. It's like the difference between khawf and khashiyah. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent His messengers, they knew Him. They had their light, their knowledge of the light, it was very clear to them. The famous hadith, وَأَنَا مَعَهُ إِذَا ذَكَرَنِي. I will be with my servant if he remembers. The Israelites said, Moses, إِنَّا مُدْرَكُونَ إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. They're coming. Look at this big army. Look at their power. Look at their might. They're going to destroy us. For sure. The fact is, look at them. He said, كَلَّا. No, you don't understand. You don't understand the presence of divine control and power over this situation. Inna ma'i Rabbi sayahdeen. My Lord is with me. He will guide me with His light out of this situation. And the sea split and they went through. They saw the power. The Prophet ﷺ in the cave, Abu Bakr's like, Ya Rasulullah, we're destroyed. Because they said, alive or dead. You get all these camels if you just find him. He said, no. لا تحزن إن الله معنا ما رأيك باثنين الله ثالثهما. He knew this. It's not قضية إيمانية. He is yaqeen. He knows who's in control of this situation. He knows the job he has to fulfill, and this is not the end of it. There are companions with pure chains of narration walked on water. Because there were circumstances they couldn't get past, they asked help and they walked over. Someone said, that Sheikh's bringing some old story. No, if you study hadith sciences, you look at the chain, it's not an old story. You believe in a lot of other things in world history with much less authenticity in the chain of narration than this. You just don't know the science of hadith, going back to the light. If you don't know the light, you might challenge it or doubt it. Companions raised their hands up and then the rain came down after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This happened because they believed, they knew. Khawf and khashya. Some people get the wrong idea from this idea of fear Allah. I'm going to say, I don't think any true believer should fear Allah. I said, what the heck did you just say? Hold on, did I hear that correctly? Let me clarify. Now some people weren't paying attention the whole time. Hold on, let me listen now. Khawf, ta'allum, haram. You're hurt, you're scared. You want to get away because of something you know is going to harm you. Khashya ta'zeem al-ilm. You have a respect and awe of something because of your knowledge about it. This is the correct understanding. Are we scared of lions? We should not be scared of lions. There are no lions here. There's no reason to be scared of a lion. If for some reason I fell into a pit at the zoo where lions are, at that point I will have khawf from Allah. Right now I have no fear of a lion. I have not put myself in a circumstance where a lion could do any harm to me. But look at the African bush. When's the last time you heard of some African guy getting attacked by a lion? You know why? Because they have khashya of the lion. They do. They have come to know that lion. And they've built a relationship with it that they understand each other's roles and responsibilities. And they live in peace. But if one of me or you go around where they live, we better start fearing the lion and have khawf immediately. Because we don't understand it. I'll give you an ayah to clarify because we're running out of time. الذين يصلون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويخشون ربهم ويخافون سوء الحساب. Here, this will help you understand what I was saying very well. The people who truly fulfill and connect responsibilities as they were supposed to, they are in awe. They are in awe of their Lord. And they fear the possible reality that their actions that they did by their own intentions could cause them to be punished by pure justice, not because Allah wanted it to happen, because we made the foolishness of living that lifestyle. Allah's not out to get you. He loves you. He's merciful, compassionate, kind, forgiving, gentle. It's the overwhelming reality. But for one who says, I don't care, and this I don't need the light, and I'm myself self-sufficient, now you have disconnected yourself from the light and the mercy and the compassion and the love by your decision. I don't know why anybody would, but they do make these decisions, some people. It's our business to make the decision of khashya, so that we don't have to fear. You see what I'm saying? If you're a true believer, really working and struggling, there's no reason to fear. Because Allah is with you, as we saw with the Prophet ﷺ and Moses. We ask Allah to guide us and forgive us and make it easy on us. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. To conclude, the Prophet ﷺ, he used to teach a lot in Juma Khutbah about the Surah Qaf. So this is the conclusion to our talk today. وَأُزْلِفَتِ الْجَنَّةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ. Heaven will be brought forth and close to those who have piety. Khashya causes taqwa. If you have awe in your heart of Allah, and you truly feel this great respect and love for the merciful, compassionate reality that brought you into existence and gives you so much, then you will do actions that will bring you closer to Him and protect you from a lifestyle which shows disrespect to the source of your existence. This taqwa is an action. Khashya is a qalb. It's in the heart. So, وَأُزْلِفَتِ الْجَنَّةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ هَذَا مَا تُوعَدُونَ. So there's no reason to be fearful. This is what you are promised. You will go to heaven. Who am I talking to? Anyone says I'm Muslim, that is not correct. Can you say you're Muslim is an iddi'a. It's a claim. It requires some sort of substance. This is what you were promised. لِكُلِّ أَوَّابٍ حَفِيظٍ. What is awwab? The one who turns back to God. Meaning, if for whatever reason, circumstances came, they slipped away, they missed some prayers, they was lying and cheating and doing unfair business, or they were, talking disrespectfully to their parents, or whatever it may be. They come back, astaghfirullah, ya Allah. This is awwab. Hafiz, they know the revelation, the message, they're in control of their environment to a certain degree, and they make sure that they protect themselves from falling into circumstances that they have to be awwab. So the awwab, they turn back now, protect yourself. Man khashiya ar-Rahman. Now, if you look at this connection, you might say, if you know Arabic, you say, khashiya ar-Rahman. Khafa min ar-Rahman. Mal alaqa. Whoever was in awe, shaken in front of the merciful, compassionate one. Meaning what? You should fear that you would ever do something to the source of your existence that is merciful and compassionate to you. You didn't make yourself exist. You didn't will yourself. You didn't deserve to exist and to see and to hear and to have all of the things you have. It is the Rahman that gave you that. To live a lifestyle where you don't care, this is totally illogical. Bil ghaib. Meaning what? It's easy when we're at the mosque and in front of people to act, mashallah, like a Muslim. But when no one's looking, or when you think you can get away with your sin and heedlessness, here is where the true test comes. Are you really a believer? Or is that just something you say in front of believers, which is a form of nifaq, hypocrisy? When you're in the environment and circumstances where people are doing evil and you're going along with evil, do you stand up and get away and rebuke and advise people against it? Or are you just going along with whoever you're around? So the Prophet ﷺ, he says, لا يكن أحدكم إمعا إن أحسن الناس أحسنتم وإن أساءوا أسأتم. Don't be any of you just a follower. If people are doing good, oh, these are the good things, we're supposed to do good things now because they're doing the good, let's go feed the poor. But when people do evil, and they're going along with evil, then you go along, oh, that's what everybody's doing, it's cool. That's the test of real faith. When you think you can get away with it, when you think you're alone, and then do you truly remember the merciful who has reminded you what's in the bed? Why is something haram? Because in this flawed, finite world, certain desires cause problems. And he's telling you, if you get through this life having this remembrance of me, you have an eternity of bliss. There's no rules. You don't have to get up and pray Fajr. You don't have to sleep to gain energy. You don't have to eat for nutrition. You will not get fat no matter how much you ate. You can do whatever you want and there's no rules. Why? Because you have proven yourself to love and be in awe of that which brought you in existence. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, illuminate our hearts and our minds with your remembrance. Make us those who truly remember you, who truly are on a path of self-reconciliation and reformation. Ya Allah, please make us people who are genuine when we say, I am a Muslim. Ya Allah, please make us people who have strong hearts, strong minds, with knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and we are ambassadors for your light and your mercy to the world around us. Ya Allah, please remove bad remembrance of you and your message because of the Muslims. Ya Allah, remove tyranny, corruption, and evil, and make sure that Muslims are the last people who are known for these things. Ya Allah, please forgive us for our sins, our weaknesses, our laziness, our heedlessness. Ya Allah, please make us people who embrace the Muslim community and work to help build each other, and that we work with the general community around us, representing you and your message that you have revealed, as did the prophets and their followers before. Ya Allah, send your peace and blessings and mercy on Prophet Muhammad, and make us of those who follow him and love him and take his example seriously.